what is this video about? What is DevOps? So today what we're going to be doing is going over what exactly DevOps is and what a day in the life of a DevOps engineer looks like. To start off, I think we should go over the definition of DevOps. DevOps is basically if the development team and the IT operations team had a baby, it would be a DevOps engineer. So DevOps is development and operations combined. What this means is that DevOps engineers are typically infrastructure focused with the understanding of the development process in mind at all times. In today's market, you might see a lot of DevOps engineer roles working with tools such as Azure, GCP, and AWS. And what these are, if you don't know, are cloud provider platforms. So you might even see some job titles as cloud engineer, but really what you'll be doing under those titles might actually just be DevOps, or what we know to be DevOps. So some of the things you'll be doing in this position will require you to be writing a lot of scripts, writing a lot of configurations, working on proof of concept models, and working on minimum viable products, also known as MVPs. You'll probably be doing a lot of monitoring and testing as well. The main goal of a DevOps engineer is basically to facilitate the development process while maintaining costs and availability. Now, what does it mean to facilitate a rollout process? Now, this might mean implementing some sort of CICD pipeline, which is a continuous integration and continuous deployment process, for those of you who don't know, that's extremely useful and basically allows developers to be developers and write their code, not have to worry about infrastructure and deploying their own code. So it really allows the development team to focus in on creating great products and writing efficient code without the headache of managing and maintaining infrastructure. And now, what does availability mean? Availability basically means no downtime. This could mean some sort of disaster, catastrophe that happens where all of your data for some reason gets corrupted and you have a backup prepared, or your servers go down in some random scenario. Now, the reason why availability is important is because it can actually become quite expensive to manage and have some sort of disaster catastrophe plan. So DevOps engineers actually try to focus in on that and try to figure out the most cost-efficient way of providing availability while also maintaining costs. Now, with that in mind, DevOps engineers typically have the worst case scenario in the back of their minds. They should be thinking about what would happen during an outage, or if some code is pushed to production that shouldn't have been pushed and they need a quick and easy and affordable way to roll back to the previous version of the environment without having any downtime. And that's why they plan for a worst case scenario and plan for backups. The whole goal of the DevOps team is to create a hands-off approach for developers. As I said before, they just want the developers to focus on the code and not worry about the infrastructure. Now, I like to think about DevOps engineers as a mechanic who's constantly greasing the machine, which basically means maintaining the infrastructure and trying to find better and cheaper alternatives to whatever current solution is being maintained. DevOps engineering is extremely important and can honestly make or break a company. Also, not every company has a DevOps team, so you'll see a lot of developers doing a lot of their own development operation stuff, managing all of their infrastructure and deployments and pipelines. Now, with all that being said, keep in mind that during hard times, DevOps teams aren't seen as totally necessary because the development team can maintain their own infrastructure if needed. So even though developers don't necessarily want to handle that stuff, they very well could. And having a DevOps team as part of your life cycle is actually kind of seen as a luxury. And to close up, I just want to say how important DevOps teams are to companies. If you look at companies like Facebook, their site was constantly reliable and always up, whereas sites like MySpace might have experienced a few downtimes. If you've seen The Social Network, the movie about Facebook, you'll see Mark Zuckerberg talking about that exactly, and how Facebook differs from other companies because of their constant availability. So with that being said, a good DevOps engineer makes a very happy development team. So those are my thoughts and explanations of what DevOps is and what DevOps engineers do. So if you like the video, or if you have any questions, comment down below. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.